What is up, everybody, and welcome to the Touchdown Talk podcast. I'm your host, Ryan, and I'm joined today by Robert Kraft. Looks a little bit
Robert Kraft for
younger.
president, 2026
Just a representative
or
of his
2028.
campaign for president.
Yes,
Is that
yes.
how you feel so strongly after a dominant performance on Monday Night Football? You feel
First
that
off, I
strongly
want to
about
say,
Robert Kraft, the owner?
oh, dude, I had a little bit of doubts about Kraft before this year, but now I'm all in, bro. Like I think after
Okay,
this year, he deserves to be Hall of Fame. He he
as an
he
owner,
needs his bid needs to be accepted.
I mean,
Yes.
yeah, I guess so. I mean, I don't know what the criteria is because I feel like you can be I mean, I don't know, you can be a bad owner and not win a lot. Or sorry, you could be a bad owner and still win a lot because good
Absolutely.
players, you can have good players and be a shit owner. You didn't you didn't draft the players, the GM drafted the players. But Robert Kraft does, I feel like, have more say than probably most owners when it comes to team management and stuff. But I don't know. I don't see Kraft as the guy who's really the mastermind behind things and all the success in New England. But the fact that they're already bouncing back and being the number one team in the league after only a couple of years is crazy. And I guess like when it comes to owners being in the Hall of Fame, is it just based on like how much money they make as a team,
No.
team revenue? Like the concessions are popping off. So the owner, like, because that's when you play Madden as the owner, like you have to set the price for the concessions and the tickets and the parking. Like, oh yeah, the parking was so good that Robert Kraft deserves to be a Hall of Fame owner. Is that what you're talking about, or are you saying like
No,
literally the
no,
team
no, no,
success?
no. Well, real quick, I do want to preface this by saying that it is very nice of Robert Kraft to give us free parking last night. For
Yes,
those of you that don't know, we were at live at the game,
yes,
and we
sir.
received $50 and free parking. So
See,
that was
we're giving
wonderful.
away free game now. Literally, we're giving away free game. So, yeah, if you guys don't know, me, Tony, and Evan, who normally is on the podcast, can't be with us now, but we went to the Pats game last night with another friend of ours, and Jake, who has been on the channel before. So yeah, we went to Gillette, and there's a couple lots there that you can get free parking, and they actually give you a $50 Visa gift card that you can spend freaking anywhere. So they basically pay you to park and it's delayed exit. So you just have to wait 75 minutes after the game ends before you can leave. And I don't know, I'm of the mindset of even if I wasn't being paid to leave that late, I'll probably sit there for an hour and wait, at least a half hour, 45 minutes and wait in the parking lot rather than try to leave right away and then end up in traffic, getting cut off by people just sitting there pissed off like I mean,
Yeah,
that's just going to happen if you try to leave early. There's no way you can avoid traffic. But if you sit there and you just sort of continue hanging out, especially if your team won on prime time on Monday night, and if you got the day off the next day, which some of us did, some of us didn't, but if you got the time, then might as well just hang out and have a blast in the parking lot. Just keep tailgating, right? Like, I mean, that was
yeah,
the vibes.
yeah.
But we also did have a little malfunction with our griddle, so we couldn't really tailgate or cook up any burgers or dogs. So there there was some ups and downs to it, but man, we had a blast. It was super cool. Check out our Instagram if you want to see some pictures from the game. But yeah,
Yeah.
you want to talk about
And
that game, Tony? I mean, it's fresh in our minds.
next time we will be more prepared as well. We'll have
Oh,
the griddle.
absolutely.
We'll have yeah, we'll have the football. We'll have everything, the bitches, all that for a perfect tailgate. So
Yeah, I'm sure
this
next
was a
time we'll have
learning
so many
experience for us.
pitches.
All right, but
But
yeah,
as far as the
I got
actual game,
I got so many things to say real quick. Obviously the Robert Kraft thing, it's obviously being an owner is more than concessions and selling merchandise
Yeah,
and all that.
absolutely.
I think getting into the Hall of Fame, I think marketing plays a big role in it. Like Jerry Jones, like what he did with the
Mm,
Cowboys, how he turned the Cowboys into the most well known sports team in the world. Jerry Jones did that. Like as much as we should like to shit on Jerry Jones, that's one thing he did do. And for that, like yeah, like owners like that obviously deserve to be in the Hall of Fame.
mm. Is Jerry
But
Jones in the Hall of Fame?
I don't I don't I don't know if he is, but even if he isn't, he's pretty much a lock. Like one of
Yeah, I
the
mean,
few
he
owners,
definitely
so
should
he's a
be,
lock. Yeah,
even though he's been making some iffy decisions recently. I still think overall, yeah,
right. Just because of what I just said, like just because
yeah,
of what he did
he
for
put him on the
football,
map.
you know?
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
But the reason Robert Kraft deserves his flowers this year, Ryan, is because he originally he made a mistake. He hired Gerard Mayo to be the coach of his
Mm,
football team. And then after 1 year, came out, fired Mayo, pretty much fired him, came out and said, "Look, everybody, I made a mistake. I shouldn't have put Mayo in this position. I'm bringing in Mike Vrabel to fix my football team." And that decision alone and the accountability that he took for that decision is pretty much sped up their rebuild process by at least a couple of years. Like we are talking about a football team that was 5 years ago. We were still most people considered us a dynasty. It took us five
yeah,
years to get from six Super Bowl dynasty to 11-2, number one seed in the AFC. The third time ever that the Pats have 10 wins in a season. Drake May, MVP candidate, a
wait,
very
only
well coached football team, physical football team. Yeah,
mhm.
go ahead.
Is it? It's only the third time they've had more than 10 wins in a season.
No, 10 straight wins
Oh,
in
10
a
straight.
season.
Okay, okay, my bad, my bad.
I believe '07,
Well, definitely
15,
07.
I think.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, I thought
Something
you were just
something
saying
like
in
that.
general. I'm like they definitely have had many 10-win seasons. But yeah, go ahead, continue.
Oh yeah. But yeah, I just see that decision alone, in my opinion, like that has gotten rid of any doubts I had about Robert Kraft in the past. You
Mm,
know, there were a lot of things beforehand I wasn't too fond of him doing. Like I feel like the throwing Belichick under the rug was all like a big mess. But he did a very good job at taking accountability, fixing his mistakes. He did it in a professional and in a manner that was kind of quick. Like it sped up the process of our whole team.
mm. When did he take over as owner? Do we know, or did he always own the team? It was always his family,
So
probably, right?
so no, Robert Kraft, he originally he owned Gillette. What he did was he wanted to own the Patriots, but the owner before him was kind of a dick and he didn't really want to sell the Kraft. So what
Okay.
Kraft did was he bought the stadium and he had all the rights to all the concessions, all the
Mm,
money, everything.
yeah.
So he pretty much choked the other guy out and made him sell to him. That's the
It's
best
pretty
summary I
savvy.
can give. Yeah.
It's
and
pretty
and as a
savvy, huh?
result, he ended up owning the team, and then they were gonna move to Connecticut because that's where they wanted to build the stadium, and then that didn't work
I feel
out,
like I remember
you
that.
know. Yeah.
And they probably tried to build it in Boston too, right? Didn't they try to do it there? Or no, they were going to go to
Not
Hartford.
sure.
They were going to go to Hartford,
They were gonna
Connecticut.
Hartford.
But
Yeah.
when was this? This was probably 90s, right?
Yeah.
If
Late
I had to
90s.
guess. Um, and correct me if I'm wrong, but at that time, like the Pats sucked. They were a laughing
Yes,
stock, dude.
they
They were
were a
terrible.
laughing stock for 20 plus, pretty much 20 plus years before Kraft owned the team.
And
And you
we've
know what?
worked there, and I remember working with someone at Gillette who had been a Pats fan forever and said that there was a time where they would not air Pats games on TV
No,
because
because they were
nobody
so
cared to watch
awful
them.
year in and year out. They were so
Yeah,
awful.
nobody wanted to see them play.
Yeah,
I mean, and then obviously since the '90s, like so much has changed that they're like a top tier franchise in the league. And obviously, you have great players and coaches that come in and do that. The owner is the guy
it
who
starts at the
hires.
top.
I mean, the owner hires the GM hires the coach, and the owner really hires everybody. Technically, he can fire whoever he can do whatever the hell he wants. So in a way, everything does go through him. But um, even down to things like they got the lighthouse now. We were at the stadium yesterday. They got the lighthouse. They got the statue of Brady. They got that
The
huge
scoreboard.
ass scoreboard, dude. And it's like those things, I don't think, any single one of those things is enough to be like, yeah, he's a Hall of Fame coach. But I think just it's sort of emblematic. You got the whole pro shop there. You have all of Pat's Place that is literally like a little town with bars and little shops, and they got the big Bass Pro Shop over there. Like it's sort of like its own little city, and
Yeah,
they're the New England Patriots, the Boston team, but it's not even in Boston. It's an hour outside of Boston, and you have this whole like little city right there. It's super cool, and like I'm speaking as a Giants fan, have all the history with the Pats or whatever. I can set that aside and say like, yeah, they've come a long way from being a team that literally would be refused to be put on TV, and now they're obviously getting primetime games at their completely revamped stadium with literally a whole entire town surrounding it. It's just so I think that you have a pretty good case to say that Robert Kraft as an owner has really taken the whole entire team and just sort of pulled it right out of the muck from where it started. So man, and they were wearing the throwback jerseys last night too. So they're still paying homage to the times when they were that them old Boston Patriots, and they were not doing too hot. Um,
oh yeah.
but as far as their performance last night, how'd you feel about that?
Well, um, I when I came back home this morning, I kind of rewatched a lot of the highlights on TV, and there were some crazy hits, crazy plays that the Pats made that
Yep.
they were awesome when we were watching them live. But then when I went and saw them on my screen, I was like, wow, they played phenomenal last night.
Hmm.
They were just the more dominant physical team.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing for me. And on all three phases of the ball, they came out hot. Just everything that you want to see, honestly, at this point in the season,
Yep.
heading into your bye week as well.
I mean, honestly, like everyone's been talking about it, but I think the thing that to me that stands out about like last night's performance and just them in general is their defense. Just how I can also get into the things I didn't like about the Giants and what they were doing, but the Giants would run the ball. All they did all night was run the ball. Anytime they tried to throw it, they really didn't have anywhere to go. And Jackson Dart would complete a short pass, and he would whoever caught it would just get tackled immediately. It was this swarming defense. It was like, okay, check it down to the flat, but then there's three guys coming up on him. Hey yo, pause. Like instantly. Like none of them had any time to breathe or make any moves once they got the ball in their hands. So yeah, exactly like you're saying. They're just playing more physical. They're playing faster. They're playing tough. People are going to talk about the hit on Jackson Dart, and
That was legal.
it was a legal hit. When I first saw it, I'm like, "Yo, what the fuck?
It
That was
looked bad.
dirty."
It looked bad in
When
person,
you
but then
see it in real
on
time, and
TV,
we were up in the 300s, so we're kind of far away from it. But
mhm,
it was on our side, so we were seeing it on that sideline, and I was like, that's dirty. And of course, his teammates are going to step in, and there was like a little brawl after. And that's what you want to see from your teammates, definitely, when a hit like that is put on your quarterback. Did Christian Ellis need to like go that hard? Like,
You know what?
probably not.
Yes.
But
Yes, he did. Because
okay.
that set
But
the tone, dude. The
I
fans,
understand. I know
the
I
team.
understand that. I understand that. I I fully put it on Jackson Dart that he was,
He
and
needs to step
Tristan
out.
Ellis talked about it at in the presser after the game. He was tiptoeing. He was trying to find any more extra space on that sideline. If he was jogging out of bounds and was taking a different angle coming out of bounds, it'd be different. But he was trying to turn the corner and reach for that first down, and he got popped because he's trying to stay in bounds. So you are continuing being a runner, and you're making that choice. So you're putting yourself in harm's way, and it's just that's how Jackson Dart's always played. Even going back to like the clips of Coach Gruden telling him like, "Man, you're playing reckless out there." He's still doing
He
that, and then
is.
Jackson Dart in his presser, Jackson Dart's like, "I'm not going to change the way I play." Well,
Well, you kind of
he's
need
going to
to.
have to. He's
It's
going
the
to have to.
NFL.
I think that this offseason, I think that he's going to realize, or and if he doesn't, then he's not going to last long because he needs some coach, whoever the hell comes in as the head coach, or a quarterback's coach or somebody, man, the OC, like somebody needs to tell him like, hey, we want you to fight for extra yards. We want you to get reach for first downs. We want you to be physical. Yes. But we want you to be available. We need you to know when to make those choices. And it's hard because it's like split second decisions. But you have to know when to make that choice to preserve your health and be there for your team. Like that's
Right.
what this is all about. You can't be that physical runner. You can't be that playmaker if you're hurt. So prior like don't do a complete 180, but at least start to shift the scale and start to prioritize your health and your body a little bit more. Because if you're not on the field, then you're not helping anybody.
He has to learn, man. It's all about experience and learning, you know.
Yep.
I now, if he was doing this kind of stuff, maybe like if they were in the playoff hunt and he's trying to
Mm.
fight for a couple extra yards to win the game, or maybe they're in the playoffs and he's doing stuff like that, I would be like a little more inclined to be like, okay, I like the aggression. I like how you're fighting for your team.
Yeah.
But you're 2-10. You're obviously you're just playing for experience at this point, and you just want to improve every week, and you want to be the next guy for this franchise. And I don't think playing with that kind of aggression is gonna help you right now. If anything, it's just gonna hurt you.
Hmm. It's funny because I've heard people. I actually think that Baker Mayfield said something about this in an interview. It might, excuse me, it might have been Jesus. I think it was when they were on Sunday Night Football, the Bucks, and someone was asking him about, oh, he's Jesus, I'm gonna choke on something. But um, they were asking Baker Mayfield about his moxie, and this is probably like, you know, his whole. I need water, Tony, or something. You gotta fucking help me out.
You want me to take? Oh yeah, yeah. You're good.
Give me
Take a
a
break.
second.
Take a break.
Give me a second. I'm choking on something.
All right. I don't really know where Ryan was going with that Baker Mayfield talk. Uh, I will say,
I'll be right back. Let you gotta carry this for a second.
no worries, bro. Take your time. Oh, he come. Oh, he like completely left. All right. I got this. All right. So I will say that I don't know where he was going with the Baker Mayfield talk. So he'll get back to that when he gets back. But another thing I wanted to point out about the game last night was wow, like just wow about Drake May, man. just phenomenal. Came out after kind of a down week last week against the Bengals, and he just honestly like he had like a perfect game or a near perfect game in terms of quarterback standpoint. He had some amazing passes. He steps up in the pocket and he throws the ball so well downfield. He's the best downfield thrower in the NFL, honestly. And I think the conversation between him and Matt Stafford for MVP is very, very interesting right now. I still think Stafford wins it as of right now, but Drake May is not far behind. He is not far behind at all.
Talk about Drake May.
Yeah,
I, I
I was
figured
like, I
I would
didn't know
come
where you
back
were
and you'd be
going
talking
with
about
the
Drake
Baker
May.
talk.
No, we can pivot to Drake May because we were talking about this last night that Stafford put up a stinker, and we can open this. Well, yeah, can I finish my point about
Yeah,
Baker?
go
Yeah,
the Baker. Yeah, go ahead.
let me go back to that for a second, and then we'll talk about Drake May because this is I want to talk about Drake May, but in reference to sort of Jackson Dart and the way he plays, that's like we see that type of play from Baker Mayfield. We see it from Josh Allen.
Yeah,
And I think there was when they were on Sunday Night Football, they were interviewing Baker pregame, and he was talking about, I think it was Chris Collinsworth asking him, people say you have moxie or like you're playing with this grit, this like intensity, right? And Baker's like, yeah, when I was losing, people said it was attitude or it was like being a diva. Like they didn't, when I was losing, people didn't like it as much. Now
who
that I'm
Baker?
winning, Baker was saying this. He's like,
Right,
I'm winning, and now it's called moxie, and it's called being a badass, right? So even go back to when Jackson Dart and Cam Scatterbo beat the Eagles and upset the Eagles. They were doing the same shit in that game. There was literally a play where
right.
Jackson Dart went with his head and went yoop and just jumped forward with his head first. And Cam Scatterbo was doing that whole entire game. And everybody's like, "Yay, this is great." But now they're losing and we're saying, "Hey, Jackson Dart, maybe you should not play that way." So, if they were winning that game, if they upset the Pats last night and Jackson Dart was playing that way, would we be having the same conversation? Maybe, maybe not. I believe that I was one of the people saying about Scatterbo and Dart, like these guys need to, like when they upset the Eagles, I was like, it's great that they won, but we need to chill. All right, we need to think about the way we're playing because it's not going to last. So I just wanted to put a bow on that and say, when Josh Allen and Baker do it, it's great. When Jackson Dart does it, it's not because he's losing. That's why. That's the difference.
Well, first off, yes, you're right because we were one of the few people where they even when they were winning games a little bit towards the middle of the season, we were like, hey, like we love the physicality that they're playing with, but
Yeah.
you guys need to chill out a bit, you know?
Yeah.
Um Now I think that only the whole Baker and Josh Allen thing, I think that proves my point even more because like those guys can get away with it more easily because they're in good teams that are competing like
Yeah.
mid careers and they're
Yeah.
competing for they're Super Bowl contenders on well Tampa Bay almost but
Yeah.
Buffalo
They're
is
they're in
definitely
closer to that conversation for sure.
right
Playoff
there
teams.
but you're the New York Giants right now there is no need to be playing like that.
No, not at all.
And also, he really should not compare himself to Josh Allen like that, dude. Because I'm sorry, but Josh Allen is a physical freak of nature who can
Oh,
continuously take those hits.
I don't think that he was comparing himself to Josh Allen.
No,
I
but
was just me.
you know what I mean, though.
But yeah, no, for sure, for sure. Because yeah, Josh Allen's probably bigger and a little bit thicker than Jackson Dart, for sure.
Oh, he's huge. He's huge, and
He
that's
is.
why he's
He's a
able
massive.
to
He's
plow
massive.
over people when he runs with the ball.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean,
Now, granted, I don't necessarily think I'm a big guy, and I don't necessarily love my quarterback doing that. Even Josh Allen, even with how big he is,
mhm,
but he's
yeah,
so big, and he's been doing it for so long that like obviously he's getting away with it without like fucking himself up like so much.
yeah, because I think he also has the ability to freaking throw laser beams down the
Li-
field too. So
Yeah, his arm is insane.
he can do both. So he doesn't have to fully rely on hurdling people every play to make things work. But watching Jackson Dart last night, it was like, dang, dude, there were some plays where that's all he had. No, I mean, even the 2 point conversion, he literally scrambled around for like 30 seconds before he eventually found someone in the end zone. But like,
And that was his best play of the night.
it was, but nobody was helping him out. Eventually, someone got open, but the whole offensive line collapsed. Nobody got open on their initial routes. It was all just a scramble drill. And it's like, okay, that's great. We want to be able to do that. But it felt like that was happening way too often, and it has been. And I feel
Yes.
like that's probably partially, even if he doesn't recognize it, it's probably Jackson Dart mentally being like, hey, I gotta tiptoe down this sideline because this is the only way we're getting first downs. Right?
It could be. Right.
Because he
It could
feels like
be.
he has to put the whole team on his back. They were running the ball well last night, which kind of surprised me actually.
They were.
And they were picking up first downs that way. So I think, he could have. I don't know, just but once it's a pass play, then he feels like he needs to take off and run because they weren't getting any separation in the secondary. Nothing down the
No.
field. I don't think they had the longest pass was probably the touchdown to Darius Slayton. It was like 23 yards or something, or it might have been 30 yards. And it was a drag route, a short completion that he just took to the house. So yeah, they just didn't have anything going, and honestly, props to the Pats defense for limiting them because you look at even really good teams like the Lions, the Giants dropped 30 points on them. The Giants dropped
Yeah.
33 or 30 points on Denver a
Yeah.
little while ago. Like the Giants have been kind of competing with some teams. Like obviously they did this against the Eagles. Like good teams, the Giants have put points up against. So props to the Pats, really, because like yeah, you can look at the Giants and say they're 2-10 or 2-9, and they're a terrible team. But hey, the Lions said it last week. Like this is a really good 2-10 team. Like
Right.
it's just crazy to say that, but man, like offensively, I know that they have some weapons and some firepower. So props to
And
the
it
Pats for
just
stopping them.
and it honestly it matters how you win these games. Like when the Pats came out, you could tell like they were the better team, and they were way more well coached on all three
Special
phases of the
teams,
ball.
special teams was
Special
massive
teams,
too.
insane. Yeah, everything,
The punt
everything
return
was great
touchdown
Monday night.
and then a fumble on a kickoff, a kick return later in the game, or it might have been a punt, but still a special teams fumble recovery and a special teams punt return touchdown. That was a huge swing in the game, massive early. That punt return was early too, so huge
Right.
for them. And then even you can't say it's the Pats, but the motherfucking Young Wei Koo dude. I don't. What is he doing?
Well, that was all New York. Yeah, that
That
was
was
just a
all.
bit
That was just
mistake.
Giants being the Giants. Dog, what the fuck?
Right. Right.
Man, he was my GOAT. That was my GOAT, bro. Young Wei Koo was the fucking GOAT. He was the man. And his fall from grace. Now he's just I don't even understand what happened. How do you not how is that an accident?
Well,
It must have been like he must have gotten shook by something because there's
he
no way
just
that you don't have your form down enough to plant your leg and give yourself enough space for your leg to fully swing. How many times has that guy probably kicked the damn ball? And all of a sudden, he doesn't have enough space for his leg and he like stops his foot. Like, what are we doing? What the fuck are we doing?
He
I
must
cannot
have
believe it.
thought he must have thought that he saw something and it caused him like a half a second of hesitation, and then
And
that
then he
was
just
it from
decided not to
there.
kick it. Yeah, that I think
Right.
so. Well, it almost looked like he thought it was going to get blocked and decided to not
It,
kick
it
it so
wasn't
he
gonna
wouldn't
get.
have like a missed, so he wouldn't hurt his average or something.
So you're right. That's what
And
it
it's
did
like,
look
dog,
like.
come on, seriously, like,
I
bro,
yeah, I don't know. I don't really know what happened to him. He was great like early on with Atlanta in his career,
he
and
was,
then Atlanta released him, and that's
yeah,
when I
this
was
year.
kind of like, oh, what's going on with that? Like they must have seen something if they were just got rid of him.
Well,
So
it's funny because I really like Young Wei Koo, or I did, and I thought that that was going to be one of our only scores of the game. And if they had kicked it and made it, it would have been one of the only times that they really scored. And I was like, all right, hey, at least at least I can say I witnessed Young Wei Koo one of his few field goals as a Giant. But then, of course,
he misses it.
we didn't get that, did we? We got a couple
No.
PATs, but that's about it. We actually only got one PAT from Young Wei Koo because they went for two on the second one. Um, but we could pivot and talk about Drake May and his performance, man. Dude, watching him throw that deep ball in person it's really pretty. It is pretty, dude.
I
It was
yeah,
really nice.
I said it
That
earlier.
Kyle Williams
He
touchdown.
he is the best deep thrower in the NFL right now. I
Yeah.
honestly, like, all bias aside, I still can't think of a quarterback that throws a better deep ball than him.
Shadur?
No, no. I mean, Shadur had a nice throw a couple weeks ago, but that is a throw that Drake May can most definitely make, and he can make better
Oh
throws
yeah.
than that.
Yeah. No, for sure. For sure. No, I was just busting your balls about it. Because we
No, I
had a
know.
whole conversation about the Shadur throw last week. But
Last
Drake
week,
May has
yeah,
made 20 throws better than that throw this year.
yeah, yeah,
Like
exactly.
he's a nut. And that the deep shot to Kyle Williams was just absurd.
It
I
was
mean,
it was a perfectly placed ball.
yeah, we say deep shot and it was like 33 yards or something,
It,
but
it, it wasn't
it,
like
it
a
was
Hail
and it
Mary,
was a lob.
but yeah,
It was a lob
yeah,
pass and it was a beautiful ball right in the basket and Kyle Williams tracked it right over his shoulder. Bang. Right in the basket, dude. What a
yeah,
beauty.
perfect execution,
What a freaking beauty.
everything.
And you could tell right away because so to give some context for people, you and Evan put in this absolutely insane parlay. You put $10 in it, and I think you guys would have won like 4 grand or something. And part of it was Kyle Williams touchdown. That was one of the longest odds for one of the legs of it. And I'm like, Doug, there's no way Kyle Williams is scoring tonight. And Kayshawn, you want to tell the story? Kayshawn Booty came out for one play,
Yeah,
and you guys were sitting next to you guys, and you're
and
like, "Oh,
and
that means
Evan was like, oh look, Kyle Williams is coming out, and then he called it perfectly, and then he was like, oh, Kyle
literally."
Williams 1-on-1, he's gonna beat
And
him.
he was 1-on-1. And as soon I was looking at Kyle Williams, as soon as the ball was snapped, he posted his man, and I'm like, "Here comes the deep ball." Drake May looked over. He's like, "I got it." Boom, right there. And you guys were just going crazy because that was the parlay didn't hit, but it was just absolutely absurd that he caught that. It was super cool. It was
Well, I said it before the game. I was like, I saw the odds. It was Kyle Williams plus 1100 to score a touchdown, and I was like, that's
uh
insane. That's such good odds.
you should have bet just that, just
Just that.
a
Yeah, I
single
should have.
leg,
I should have put 200
because
bucks on that.
you could have turned it
I
into
would have won 2,000 bucks.
right. Yeah, I was gonna say that's 10 times your money.
Yeah,
You put $10 and you
I
win a
should
hundred.
have. Yeah,
Dang, dog.
and
Yeah, I mean
that's like
it's easy to
that's
say
the way
now.
to bet. I know.
Yeah, right. Like now, oh, I should have put 200. Yeah, well, now you could say that, but that also it's
Yeah.
like now I have to spend $200 on a freaking on Kyle Williams, and then you're biting your nails the whole time.
But that's really how, and just a tip for everyone out there, that's really how you make your money.
How
Parlays
to
never hit.
how to gamble?
That's why Vegas gives a boost for parlays because they never hit. If you really want to make money, you need to bet single straight up bets, and you need to bet more, which is sad because then you're gambling more money. You're gonna lose more money, and that's why so many people only bet $5 to $10 parlays, and they lose 999 of them out of 1,000.
But that one that hits is pretty nice,
Well,
huh?
yeah, if
When you
you're
win that
ever
20
that
bucks off of
lucky.
five. I'm feeling, dude. When my $5 parlay hits and I win $10, I feel like the man. I'm on cloud nine when I win $10 on DraftKings, dog. That's all
I
it
feel
takes.
so stupid, dude. Because I'm like, oh, why didn't I bet more? I just fucked myself.
Yeah. Well, after you lose nine in a row and that 10th one finally hits, you're like, all right, I I
That's
know what I'm
true.
doing now. Now the next 10 are gonna hit in a row, and they don't, and they just don't.
Yeah.
But we were having this conversation as we were leaving about Drake May and Matthew Stafford put up a little bit of a stinker right there against the Carolina Panthers, and now all of a sudden the Panthers are looking like they're in position to take control of the NFC South. The
I
Rams, who
believe the Bucks are still
the Bucks are
division
still
winners,
they are
leaders.
still, I believe they're tied though, or they're not
They're
tied,
the
but
same record.
they have the same amount of wins. Carolina's on a bye this week, so if Tampa Bay were to lose, then they would have the same record. I believe Tampa Bay would have the tiebreaker because have they played yet this season?
I will find it out for us right now.
But either way, while Tony figures that out, the Rams, man, and Stafford's fall from grace needs to be studied. He left the door open for Drake May to come in on Monday night and take that top spot for MVP odds. Someone was saying that Stafford still has the best odds for MVP. I don't know if that's the case. Excuse me. Wow, that was
According to
disgusting.
Vegas, I think Drake May is favored again now, as of right now. However,
It is Drake May.
yeah, but I personally think that Stafford is still the front runner, and I feel like a lot of people right now are still kind of on that same page as well.
Yeah, I mean, we still have 5 weeks left in the season. So
Yeah,
currently, Drake May is sitting at minus 125. Stafford's at plus 125. And then the next closest is Dak Prescott with plus 1,600.
yeah, it's gonna be Stafford or May. I feel
Oh,
like that is a
100%.
fact because Jonathan Taylor isn't gonna break any
No.
records, and that's what you need to do to win MVP as a running back now. So it's gonna be Stafford or May. I feel like
Jonathan Taylor has
Prescott.
plus 10,000 odds.
Yeah, he's not gonna win it. Obviously Dak, you know, isn't a crazy choice at this point. Josh
Dak,
Allen,
Jordan
you
Love
know,
is right there with Dak with the same odds, plus 1,600. Josh Allen's plus
he's not gonna
3,000.
win it.
Caleb Williams is plus 5,000.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, number
Yo,
one seed in the NFC. That's not the
yo.
craziest thing in the world.
I mean, if Drake May puts up a stinker against the Jets, and if Stafford loses another game, puts up another stinker against whoever they're playing, and Caleb Williams continues to rock, man, he could shoot up there in the rankings. Because I didn't
Yeah,
expect to see him at like number 5
yeah,
best odds.
absolutely.
But
Yeah.
holy shit, dude.
I told you before the season.
You
Remember, I
did.
was like,
You
Ben
literally
Johnson
did.
is He's gonna make Caleb Williams a serviceable quarterback. And look at that team. They're insane.
Number one in the NFC, dog.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, so it's gonna be Stafford or Drake May that's gonna win it. Like
It will
most
be, yeah.
likely. Um,
Because well, Bears are 9-3, Pats are 11-2, so they're still 2 games ahead. Not that wins is everything when it comes to MVP. I mean, shit, dog. What about Sam Darnold, huh? Seattle's sitting there with 9 wins. I mean, we're talking about Chicago as the number one team in the NFC, but it is technically a 3-way tie. Chicago
oh
has
yeah,
the tiebreaker, but LA and Seattle both have 9 wins. They're right there. San Fran actually has 9 wins too. They just haven't had their
dude,
bye yet.
it is the weirdest year in the fact that
The
we're going
NFC
into the
West is
playoffs and
crazy.
there's no legit top team, bro.
Yeah, that's true. I
There
mean,
is no top
except
team.
the the Pats technically, have the best record, but yeah, you could say that with the caveat of like easiest schedule. Everyone says easiest schedule, all that shit. They're up on Denver by 1 game.
Right.
They're going into they haven't had their bye yet, so they're gonna have their bye. Which honestly, when it comes to MVP and things like that, this is now an opportunity for Stafford to make up some ground on Drake
Yeah.
May, or someone
Yeah.
like Dak Prescott to make up some ground on Drake May because obviously he's on the bye, so they can sort of sneak up there. But I think Stafford has a very strong grasp on the passing touchdown leaders in the NFL. He's
Yeah.
beating everybody else by like 10.
He's miles ahead. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's miles ahead.
So I don't know. Is that a strong enough metric to go by? I
I
don't know.
think so. Because, like I said, I think Stafford still wins it. However, I just think that people need to take into account that you gotta remember that Stafford has Devontae Adams, Puka Nakua, an insane running game, Kyron Williams with Blake Corum, amazing duo, Sean McVay, amazing offensive scheme, and Drake May is putting up stats almost similar to Stafford with Kayshawn Booty and an old Stephon Diggs, which is like
And Mac
just
Hollins and
so
Pop
much less than
Douglas.
what Stafford has.
Yeah. No, that's a fair point too. And I feel like that was part of like Josh Allen's whole thing last year was like he didn't really have much receiver help. Like he
Yeah,
had Khalil
he
Shakir and they
still
got Mari
doesn't.
Cooper. Like and he still doesn't. But that's like part of it is like MVP when you have like one of the very top receivers in the NFL in Puka Nakua. Can you say that you're the MVP? Because Puka's
Exact.
pretty
Yeah.
valuable too. Devontae
Yeah.
Adams is pretty valuable too.
Yeah. Two of them. He is the number
Like,
one receiving touchdown leader, and then like number three in Puka Nakua for yards, which is
yeah.
crazy.
I mean, you can also say those guys have those stats because of Stafford, and that
Because
could
of
be a
Stafford.
thing too. And it
Right.
is also sort of the scheme and Sean McVay. They love to just pump targets to Puka and just feed him
Right.
the ball, and they know how to get the guy the ball that they want,
But
to have it.
both those guys are still freaks of nature though without Stafford.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And Devontae Adams is a Hall of Famer, and then Puka is like 99% sure he's gonna be a Hall of Famer. Like, did you see
It's
that
yeah.
that
Oh,
catch that he
his
made?
one hander. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes. I think it's very early to say Puka will be in the Hall of Fame
it it is, but it's looking
because
very good.
he's been in the league for 3 years.
Yeah, he's
So
class of 23.
would you say Cooper Cup's a Hall of Famer?
That's tough. Yeah,
Would you say Odell Beckham
probably.
Jr. is a Hall of Famer?
Yeah, yeah. I think OBJ makes it just because that catch was so iconic.
Okay.
And I know it's only one catch, like yeah, but like some people like don't understand. Like that catch was that was like I
The
like
catch heard around the world.
yeah, like that I don't know. That's and he has a Super Bowl with the Rams. He had like insane seasons early on with the Giants.
I'm just
I
thinking
don't know if
like,
he's a first ballot, but I
oh
think
no,
he could definitely get in.
I think he has a case, but like, I don't think you can go based off of like this early in someone's career because
Yeah, you're
OBJ
right.
was like setting records for the fastest to get to this
Yeah,
yardage
you're
mark
right.
and like the youngest to do this and that. And he was on pace to do like insane things and then boom, injured, goes to the Browns and then,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, absolutely.
does some stuff with the Rams, but like, you know, gets in with the Ravens here and there, but really doesn't come back to that form that he was when he was with the Giants. And kind of is like, okay, well, he was really good for like 3 or 4 years, and then he fell off the face of the earth.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that's gonna happen with Puka, but I'm saying it's early enough where you don't want to start having those conversations and then have something go wrong and end up, looking silly because you spoke too soon. But
Well, like
if
I
he
didn't
if he stays
mean
on pace, then for sure.
right. And I didn't mean literally like he's gonna be in the Hall of Fame. He looks like he is, like as
Yeah,
of right now. Like the
he
way
has the
he's
talent
playing.
to end up there for sure.
Yeah.
Well,
And
do you think?
he looks like that prime Odell, like to that extent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I was gonna say Cooper Cup because Cooper Cup had a triple crown season,
Hmm.
and then after that he kind of fell off too. And now he sucks with Seattle.
Yeah,
But he
because he
was
got
around
hurt.
for a while before he ended up having the triple crown season, but never
Yeah.
was really that. He really has like one super amazing season, and then one decent season, and then kind of fell off after that.
Yeah.
So is he a Hall of Famer with one historic season?
I
Is
don't
Jamar
know.
Chase and Justin Jefferson going to be Hall of Famers? Because they have had some, they are on insane pace very early in their
Yeah.
careers. Jamar Chase has a triple crown season. Like, can we say that those guys are going to be in the Hall of Fame? They feel like they have a very good shot. Like, I
Yeah.
don't know what their odds are. Vegas, set the odds at this point in their careers, but
Yeah.
I don't
I
think we
don't. I
have
like.
injury insurance on those ones.
Like I said, like you said, like you can't say for certainty who's gonna make it and who won't. I will say that Chase and Jefferson just seem like more of a locks for Hall of Fame than Cooper Cup does. But then again, like you said, like we don't know, and winning Super Bowls does play a big part in getting into
Oh
the
yeah.
Hall of Fame, I would say.
Yep.
And the fact that neither one of those guys have one, or I mean, haven't really came close besides Chase that one year. I think that will end up saying a lot depending on if they can get there or not.
Yeah. I
But
mean,
I personally think they're way better receivers than Cooper Cup was. But like you said, Cooper
yeah.
Cup had
Oh
that
yeah.
one insane year.
Yeah.
So I don't know. There's so many factors at play. It's like you said, we don't know until the end of their careers.
Yep. 100%. I mean, if Justin Jefferson doesn't get a competent quarterback on his team, then I don't know. He's in a
Oh,
rough spot.
his
He's
prime
his
is wasted.
he's literally he's in his prime right now, and it's being wasted by freaking Max Brosmer and JJ McCarthy. Freaking nine is wasting his career. It's so
Yeah,
sad to watch, dude. It is so sad. It's
yeah,
so and as a fantasy owner of Justin Jefferson, it's so frustrating. Just being like, dang, dog. What? Oh my God, I can't even believe it. Watching Max Brosmer try to get the ball to Justin Jefferson. There were times because obviously, I'm not admitting to anything, but there are some people out there who have to watch illegal streams to watch football games, and occasionally those streams will buffer. So there are times where Max Brosmer is throwing a pass and it's in midair on its way to Justin Jefferson and it freezes, and I look And I say, yeah, it's overthrown. He's not going to catch it. And then eventually it plays, and guess what? It's overthrown, and he doesn't catch it because and he's open. There are times when he's open, and he gets
Yeah.
overthrown, and it's like, dog, you have the best receiver in the league right there, or one of the best. Like, oh my goodness, it's so frustrating, dude. Because he could be
Well,
doing if only he had someone like Sam Darnold, maybe he could be doing what JSN's doing. Hmm?
yeah.
Hmm? Maybe. Huh. If only someone like Sam Darnold was in Minnesota, then what would we fucking do with Justin Jefferson? Sorry, just
Yeah,
had to
well,
crash out real quick about that one.
no,
Like,
you're good.
but
I
it's
get
like,
it.
damn, bro.
It's upsetting to see good players like have their prime wasted. We know better
Yeah,
than that than anybody because this is like the generation. I feel like it's all over the place. Like a lot of teams have that player where you're like, why the fuck are you on this team?
yeah,
Like Miles Garrett on the Cleveland Browns,
dude.
Ashton Jency on the Raiders now, even though he's a rookie.
He's got time.
Joe Burrow on the Bengals.
Yeah,
Uh, Josh, honestly, making the case now, Josh Allen on the Bills. You know,
dude, he's gonna be the
could you,
next
dude?
freaking Jim Kelly,
Could you fucking imagine if Josh Allen was on the Rams or the Vikings?
bro. Yo, if he was on the Vikings, that would be insane. But I feel like
Dude,
they would have to change their whole entire like scheme. Like they'd have to revamp their whole offense.
oh yeah, but like, come on, like Josh Allen with Justin Jefferson
Yeah. Oh, dude, it'd be over.
and that offensive line, like
Or not even Josh Allen on the Vikings, Jefferson on the Bills.
on the Bills, yeah, yeah,
That's all they got to do. Because then
yeah,
everything's in place. It's like, man, just run fucking route, and he can torch fucking anybody, dude. Oh,
yeah.
I would love to see that, bro. I would love to see that,
I would not
but
love
it
to
will
see
not.
that.
Yeah, you wouldn't.
I would
But
love to see the Buffalo ship out Josh Allen.
there's no chance.
I
I don't think either team would ever do that. But how nuts would that be? Oh my god,
It would be
that would
nuts.
be absolutely insane.
But
But
at the
I,
same time, if I'm Josh Allen, I kind of want to get out of Buffalo, man. I'm starting to maybe think, I'm not a big fan of Sean
really,
McDermott. I think McDermott sucks. I
you
think
were
he should
saying
have been
that, yeah.
fired.
Last episode, you said that.
Yeah, he should have been fired years ago.
Really,
Yeah.
you don't like his whole 9/11 speech? That's how he motivates his
What
guys.
9/11 speech?
There was like a something that came out last year that he referenced 9/11 and like the perseverance of like the terrorists in 9/11 to like motivate his team or something. It was
The
it was something
fuck?
like he like referenced Al Qaeda and was like, these guys know how to work as a team, or it was like something weird like that.
Yeah, I don't know. He strikes me as a weird guy when I look at him. I don't really know necessarily how he hypes up that team, but I mean, like, yeah, they have a winning record most of the years, but I kind of base that more on Josh Allen than him. I just think as a offensive coach and a scheme and the way he's built that team, I just feel like he sucks.
Mm.
Like there's such a clear difference between Vrabel, McDermott. You know, I mean, I'll say that McDermott's a better coach than Aaron Glenn and like those guys, but I don't think McDermott is good. I really don't.
Yeah, well, clearly something's got to give. Something's got to change for
Yeah,
them.
yeah. Because like
It's-
the whole point of this was that's Josh Allen's prime, and
I
you know
don't know if
what?
it's really
And
like
5 years ago, it won't be his prime anymore.
5 years from now. Yeah,
Like players
Yeah,
like him and, Jefferson and Burrow and, all these guys, Lamar, even Lamar Jackson.
yeah.
Like people need to understand, bro. Like that's why Peyton Manning only won 2 Super Bowls.
Josh Allen's
You know?
29, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
Mahomes is 30.
Mahomes is 30. Yeah.
I thought Josh Allen was like 26.
No, he was
That's
drafted, and
insane.
remember, it took him like
Yeah, it
two or
was
three years
2018,
for him
right?
to get good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that is pretty wild. Because these
yeah.
guys, I don't know, they just feel like it feels like this is that era. It is a new era.
And it is
You
that
know,
era.
oh man, just like I can picture the poster in my head with Odell Beckham, Julio Jones, Antonio Brown, AJ Green, like all the old wide receivers from like the mid 2000s, and that was like prime time, dude. Those were like the guys. Those were the goats, and then the quarterbacks you had Brady, you had Peyton, you had like Philip Rivers, Big Ben, Eli Manning, those guys, Carson Palmer,
Drew
guys like that,
Brees.
Drew Brees. I mean,
That's
that
never
like
gonna happen
all
again,
those
though.
guys spoken in the same sentence, like all in this group of this era. You when you think of guys, you just think of them together. And now
Yeah,
we're in a whole new era where it's like, okay, now you think of Josh Allen, you think of Mahomes, you think of Lamar, you think of Burrow. All those guys,
yeah,
those four are like always together because they're at least close enough in draft area where they've all been coming up and just doing crazy things all at the same time. You got Justin Jefferson, you got Jamar Chase, you got even guys like AJ Brown that you can lump in there, and like those are guys that are just doing it in this era. Derrick Henry, freaking Saquon Barkley,
Saquon,
like
Jonathan
Jonathan
Taylor.
Taylor.
Yeah, like it's this era
Tony,
that
we're
we're
gonna
in right now.
blink. We are going to blink, and all those guys are gonna be retired.
Oh yeah, especially the running backs, man. Like even Saquon. Like sad to say, but Saquon doesn't look like he did last year.
No,
Even the
not
way
even
he's, I
close.
mean, a lot of that's offensive scheming on Philly, but
Sure.
even when you're watching Saquon this year play, you can tell like he's not the same.
No. Yeah, and I,
And it's
I
just
feel
that
like
just
we
happens to
expected.
running backs.
Yeah, we expected some regression, but I
Yeah,
don't think we expected it like this. He's probably not
no,
even gonna
not like
crack 1,000
this.
yards.
Nah, I don't think so.
He only has like 600 yards on the season or something like that.
Yeah,
So,
he's not gonna crack it only because they have so many issues right now that by the time,
oh
even if
yeah,
they do fix it, by the time they do, he's not cracking it,
yeah.
which is
Hmm.
fine. It happens. But
It is
again,
what
it's
it is,
just,
man.
another year he's getting older. Like, you're not going to have prime Saquon Barkley forever.
He's got
And the
740.
same thing with JT.
He has 740 yards right now. I think so. He could.
Maybe. He
He could.
maybe
He could
crack
get
it.
there. He could get there
Yeah.
for sure.
It
But he might
depends.
just barely get 1,000. You know,
Yeah.
maybe 1,100. But hey, who knows? It's still a far cry from his 2,000 yards. That's now it's
Oh,
Jonathan
yeah.
Taylor's
Absolutely.
rushing title. So man,
Yeah.
just a freaking whirlwind of shit going on in the NFL. Honestly, we didn't really talk about specific games
I
too much
know.
outside of like Carolina ends up upsetting the Rams, which we sort of touched on. But Bryce Young's playing really well, so you got some threat in the NFC South there, like I was saying earlier. Um,
I have some news.
some news,
Crazy
breaking news on the
news.
pod.
Not breaking news. Just news that you asked before and I found out.
Oh,
But
okay, yeah,
the Carolina Panthers have not played Tampa Bay yet. They still
okay.
need to
So
play them
so they
twice.
play them twice in the last 5 weeks of the season.
Yeah, and that's gonna decide who wins the division.
Okay, so and it looks like Panthers. So the Panthers have a bye week. Then they play the Saints. Meanwhile, the Bucks play the Saints and Falcons, and then it looks like they play each other, the Bucks and Panthers, and then Tampa Bay plays Miami, while Carolina plays Seattle.
Yeah, that's a loss.
Yeah, it's a loss. And then they play each other in Week 18. That Week 18 game could be massive.
That could be
That
that could
could be a
the Sunday
massive
night.
game.
Yeah.
It absolutely could be. Also, just I'm looking at Week 18 now. Seattle plays San Francisco. Seems like they will probably be very close by the time the season is up
That's
to an
a
end.
big
Baltimore
game.
and Pittsburgh play in Week 18. Looking like
that's another big game.
probably going to be big. Indianapolis and Houston play in Week 18. Going to be a probably
another
big one.
game. Jeez, man.
The Chargers and the Broncos in Week 18, and the
Nah, that's
Lions.
not gonna be big. Then Denver's gonna run away with the division.
Oh, you never know, Tony. And Detroit and Chicago.
Yeah, but
in Week 18.
I feel like Detroit's
Ooh.
falling off a little bit too far.
They're 2 games back from Chicago. You never know what could happen. But we'll see.
Yeah.
There's
I don't know.
potential
We'll see.
for a bunch of sort of playoff implications in that Week 18. We're still a month away from that, so we can chill out there. But it'll be freaking cool, man. It'll be so cool.
The end of the year division matchups this year are just insane, and I'll say that the story of this year, honestly, if you were to ask me, is inconsistency. Like there is really no good, there's really no dominant team, and there are so many just inconsistent teams. Like you have, like Carolina, like they'll come out and they'll beat the Rams, but then they'll shit the bed against the fucking Saints and lose that game.
Yeah.
Or Green Bay, they'll come out and they'll beat Detroit, but then they'll get blown away by the fucking, I don't know, the fucking.
Well, they'll lose by the Browns.
Yeah,
they'll lose by a field goal to the
know.
Browns, or they'll lose by a field goal to the Panthers, or lose by, or tie against the Cowboys, or
Yeah.
The Packers do feel very strange, a very strange team.
They're very strange, and they're not the only ones. That's the whole story of the year. I feel like half the teams in the playoffs are all like that.
The Jags, I feel like,
The
are like that.
Absolutely, they are. Even the you can make an argument. Even the Texans, like I know the Texans have picked it up. Like,
They've been
the
hot
last
recently.
month,
Even like Buffalo kind of had a couple in there. Chargers had a couple in there.
Like that. Yeah, LA, yeah.
Like Tampa Bay. Yeah. I feel like a lot of these like teams are just in the middle. Baltimore's story is very strange this season. Kansas City, like all these teams that were kind of used to being top teams are just not.
Yeah.
Like I can't remember the last time. When was the last time New England and Chicago were the 2 number 1 seeds? Like I don't think ever in my life that's been the case.
Well, New England was
Well, New England has been, but not with Chicago on the other side. And
you'd have to go back to mid-2000s.
Having 3 NFC West teams with 9 wins at this point in the season is just wacky to me.
It's wild. Yeah, it's definitely wild.
Technically, Cleveland, the Jets, and the Commanders are not eliminated from the playoffs yet. They all have 3 wins.
Yeah, but those are the few teams where like we know like they're not going anywhere. Like
they're not going to make the playoffs, but they could technically, mathematically. Jets get a big win to help out the Giants when it comes to draft standings or draft position. So that's a huge win for New York, for New Jersey or whatever. Yeah, for the Giants, yeah. Massive. Hey, we're helping each other out, all right? That's all we need, baby.
I was going to say something. I forgot. Fuck. I forgot what I was going to say. It was good, too.
Well, one of these days you'll remember it. So as of right now, we have Houston just barely missing the playoffs, Pittsburgh, Kansas City barely missing the playoffs. And those are the first
That's
teams
what
that
it
are in the
was.
hunt. Miami is technically not far off.
Yeah, but
Miami's not
but
eliminated either. Like Miami is
yeah,
right behind Kansas City in wild card
yeah, but
position.
they're another one of those teams where they're not gonna make it. They need to
Yeah, I
win
mean,
out,
you figure
and
they
then
won't.
they need to
Cincinnati
win
feels
out.
like they have a genuine chance just because Baltimore
Cincinnati,
and Pittsburgh
yes,
are only 2 games ahead of them.
yeah, Cincinnati has a legitimate chance. I'll give them that. Miami doesn't, only because for the fact that Miami, not only do you have to win out, but you have games like the Pats, the Bills still on the schedule, so that
Yeah,
they're not making it.
yeah. They
Um,
do play the Jets this week, if I'm not mistaken.
that's probably a win for them, which is good. But again, at the same time, if I'm a Miami fan, I, you know, I don't even know. I don't even know honestly what direction I would want them to go in. They're just bad. Tua is just bad.
And then meanwhile, on the NFC side, you have the teams that are just out of the playoffs, being the Lions, the Cowboys, the Panthers, and then a distant Falcons are
Not
technically in the hunt. But Carolina,
not gonna make
Dallas, and
it.
Detroit feel like teams that are not in right now, but could make a push.
Yeah.
Um,
Any one of it's a coin flip between any one of those teams. I really
yeah,
don't know
and
who
it's
will
really
make it.
like it's really just because the NFC West is so stacked, and they're taking up all the wild card spots.
Yeah, because
That's the tough part.
because the 49ers and Seattle will both most likely be in there.
Hmm.
The Rams will still most likely win the division because Darnold just does not play good against the Rams.
No, it really doesn't.
So it's gonna be LA is gonna win that division, and it's gonna be those two are gonna take up the wild card spot, and then all those teams you just listed, like I said, it's a coin flip. I honestly don't know who will take that spot. It could be any of them. I
Well,
will say that the Detroit Dallas game on Thursday
I was
is
just about to say that.
massive.
That's my game of the week, baby. We got an actually good Thursday night football game? No way.
Yeah,
Holy
but
shit.
it kind of sucks that. Oh, actually, no, it doesn't suck because they both played last Thursday, so they'll have a whole week.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
okay. So yeah, that's going to be a
That's I feel like
phenomenal
that's probably
Thursday
why they
night
did it
game
like
then.
that.
Yeah,
That's awesome, dude. I'm excited for that. In Detroit, it's gonna be good.
yeah.
Um, what do we have? I was trying to check who um no,
Oh, for Sunday night
I was trying
matchups
to see who Seattle's
or
playing.
Sunday.
Seattle's playing Atlanta. I'm
That's
looking at
okay.
the NFC West. You actually have a battle for the number one seed in the AFC South in Indianapolis at Jacksonville at one
Yeah,
o'clock.
yeah.
So
I
that's a
want to say
massive game.
that is a huge game, and those two teams play twice, I believe. They have not played yet.
I think you're right. Dang, Indy must be on a big stretch of all divisional games because they only just played the Texans. They play them again week 18. Sunday Night Football, Texans Chiefs. All right, that's a pretty big one for some wild card positioning. The Chiefs, like, man, they're still in it. They keep being in it, man.
This was
They're
what I
they're
was gonna
hovering
say
around
earlier,
500.
Ryan.
What?
I need to say this, but the Chiefs ain't making the playoffs. I'll say that to everyone out there. There is no way. I said before this week, I was like, it's Kansas City. Don't count them out. They're probably gonna find a way to make it in. But dude, they lost to Dallas Thanksgiving. They are now 6-6, I believe.
Yep.
I feel like the only way they make the playoffs is they have to win out. They have to go. 11-6. If they finish 10-7, they're not gonna make it because they don't have a tiebreaker against most of these teams. Like they
Mm,
lost to Buffalo, they lost to Jacksonville, they beat Indy. That's the only team they have a tiebreaker over is Indy. But I just
mm.
think that if you go 10-7, I don't think that's enough. I don't think that's enough for you to win the division or for you to win the wild card.
Yeah, no, yeah, it does. I'm crunching the numbers in my head. Yep, yep, yep. Yeah, I think they're
It's
gonna have to win out.
they're gonna have to win out, and I don't think it's possible. They
It's gonna
just
be
do
tough.
not. They look like a shell of themselves, man. Like offensively, they are a disaster. I don't know if you saw that Thanksgiving game or if you were like
Oh yeah.
asleep from the turkey, but they had so many drops, penalties. Like they're just not the same team.
So Kansas City plays. They play Houston.
Yep.
They
And
play
even that game is like I don't know if they'll win that game, man.
Houston's pretty hot right now. Really good
Yeah.
defense. They play Houston. They play the Chargers. They play Tennessee in Week 16. So that's a definite win.
Yeah, that's a definite win.
They play the Broncos on Christmas, which I remember saying that was going to be a really massive game, and it could be because technically it still could be because if the Chiefs could be a 9-win team at that point, and if the Broncos lose the next three, they could be a 10-win team, and the Chiefs could um, put themselves in good position there. So
Yeah.
that would be the scenario where they win out, and then Christmas ends up being a massive game for the Chiefs, and then
Denver's not. The problem is Denver's not going to drop
well,
all
yeah,
three games.
Denver won't lose out, and then Week 18, Kansas City will play Vegas.
Vegas,
So
yeah,
that seems like
which
a
is a lot.
win, but yeah, in Week 18 they're gonna give up. But Denver plays. Let's see who Denver plays. Uh, so this week
It
Denver plays Vegas, which
That's a
was
win.
a 10-7 game last time. Just throwing that out there. And then they play Green Bay, and then they play Jacksonville, and then they play Kansas City, and then they play the Chargers. So that is kind of a gauntlet. Outside of the Raiders, that's a tough end of season schedule for the
It
Broncos.
it is,
That's a little bit
but
tougher than what the Chiefs have, I'd say.
but the only reason why I don't think they let up is because that Green Bay game, the Jacksonville game, and the Chargers game are all in Denver.
Mm, yeah,
And
that's a big advantage.
that's a tough place to go into Denver and win. And now
Yeah,
that they have a defense like that, that's just even a bigger gauntlet of a task, honestly.
yep,
So even did you know that Belichick and Brady never went into Denver and won?
really.
Yep. They always lost
Wow.
when they went to Denver because it's such a hard place to play, you know?
Yeah, that's the only team that has no team has a winning record against Brady, but that's the only team that has a 500 record. I think they're like 4-4 or something, and then like
Yeah.
San Francisco might be 1-1 against Brady or
Yeah.
something like that. Um, but yeah, the Broncos, man, and it makes sense.
Yeah.
It's a tough place to play because of the altitude and
Yeah, the
like
altitude.
not
It's a
only the
big thing.
weather. We talked about last night. We were talking about sort of the weather and how it affects people that come up to Gillette and play in the cold, like when Miami comes up to play the Pats. And that's one aspect of, the Chiefs play in the cold too, but like, or other teams, LA plays inside in a warm climate anyway. So when LA comes to Denver, it's probably a tough one. Jacksonville going into Denver in
Oh my
December
God, they're gonna get smoked.
in uh
They're get, Lawrence is gonna
in
look like a
the altitude.
freaking yeah.
I don't see
Lawrence is
Trevor
gonna look
Lawrence
like a
as a,
fucking
a cold
clown.
weather quarterback. I really
No,
don't see him that way.
No, he's gonna get killed that
That
game.
feels like it's going to be a
He's gonna
tough
play
one
like
for
shit.
Jacksonville. Yeah, yeah, it really does. Ah, man.
Uh,
Well, so who's your pick for next week, Tony?
um,
We got picks for the next 5 weeks. How about that? No, I'm just kidding. We just pretty much laid out our predictions for the whole next 5 weeks.
yeah, we pretty
See what
much did.
happens. Oh, and Pittsburgh plays Baltimore this week, and then they play Week 18. So those are two huge matchups. Uh,
You know what, dude? Cause I've just been picking who I want really the last 3 to 4 weeks, not who I think. Um,
yeah,
so I'm kind of manifesting here, but I'm going with the Texans over Kansas City.
really. All right,
Yep, because
all
fuck
right.
Kansas City.
I'm trying to think if there's teams that I haven't picked yet, because I'm pretty sure I picked all the good teams. I don't know if I picked the Commanders yet.
I don't think
I'm
so.
I'm gonna pick the Commanders over the Vikings.
Yeah, that's pretty solid.
Feels like one that has a chance. Ooh, Tennessee at Cleveland. That game's gonna be fucking awesome.
Oh my god, yeah.
Said no one ever.
Fedor Sanders against Cam. I mean, Cam Ward's not
It
awful,
might be a
but
chance for Cam Ward to actually do something. Oh no, he's gonna get sacked like 6 times. Actually,
yeah, yeah.
he's gonna get beat up, dude.
I
He's
will
a
say
hundred
though,
percent getting
he
beat up.
he's improved a lot throughout the season.
Yeah,
Like it's
he
not
was.
all bad.
He played decent against Seattle.
Yeah, and
Better
that's a
than he
good
played better
defense
than
he
Max
played
Brosmer
against
did.
too. Oh yeah.
Yeah, so hey, there's something there. I mean, I don't think he was ever the problem. Well, he
Who,
had
Cam
some.
Ward?
No, I mean he's had his struggles as a rookie, holding on to the ball too long, trying
Yeah,
to be a hero, but you're in a pretty shit situation. So I give him
yeah.
grace. I think
Like you
everybody was
said,
gonna
like
give him grace.
he's definitely not the main problem in Tennessee. Um,
No,
if you're Tennessee, honestly, you're overall, I would say, pretty happy with the rookie season he's had, considering what he has. Like he's shown you enough promise,
yeah, just from
unlike some of
him
these other
purely,
guys.
purely from Cam Ward, not from the team, but from him as a
Yeah,
rookie quarterback learning and growing. Like, yeah, I don't think I've paid close enough attention, honestly, to like give a full analysis. But like, yeah, I think you've seen some little chemistry there with like DK and some of the guys on that team, and you just want to see them get some O line strength. I want
yeah,
to see them build up that O line and then get like a solid wide receiver.
yeah.
Maybe acquire a running back or something in the off season. Their rebuild is just starting. So
Well, they need
I mean, they have the
they need
number one
pieces
overall pick.
almost everywhere.
Who are they
Right.
picking number one overall?
I don't know. I
Are they
really
going to
am
pick
not too
Jeremiah Smith?
familiar with this draft.
Me neither. But it feels like
Um, I'm gonna
what's
be
their biggest
honest with
need?
you. I feel like so DK has been great for them. Like that's another rookie of theirs that's like okay, like he's shown you he could be good with
Yeah,
Cam Ward as well. I feel like in their situation, the best case scenario for them is since they have the number one pick again, is you trade it somewhere
trade
to
it
some
away.
quarterback heavy team and get more early round picks out of it.
Mm,
Because I feel like that in itself will give you
yeah,
more, that you can use. But then again, it's Tennessee, so who the fuck knows what they're gonna do? They're probably gonna fuck it up, but that's what I would do if I
mm.
was the GM.
No, that makes sense because like you feel pretty good that you have your quarterback of the future. That you want to at least roll with him another season. So you're not going quarterback, and then
Yeah,
you feel like if you drop down a couple spots, you can still probably get a really good wide receiver if that's where you're trying to go. Or if you're trying to go O line, you can definitely slide down because you can probably get the best O lineman at 5 or whatever, but
Right.
depending what the Giants do or what the Saints do. The Saints could go O line. Um,
Right.
I'm not sure, but we'll see how it shakes out because uh, right now it's Titans, Giants, Saints, Raiders, and then Washington, Jets, Cleveland, Arizona, teams like that. So yeah, we shall see.
It's crazy, man. That's gonna be an interesting draft because
Yes, sir.
it's another big like QB heavy draft supposedly, and half of
Is
those
it?
teams you just mentioned do not need a quarterback. So, or we know they're not going to draft one.
Well,
Because you
yeah.
got Titans,
Titans won't.
your
Giants
Giants
won't.
probably won't.
Even the
Washington obviously
Saints.
isn't. Yeah,
Washington won't.
honestly,
Saints won't.
I feel like the if,
Raiders might.
the Raiders will.
The
I mean,
Raiders
they
probably will.
should. They should. They're one of the
The
few teams
Saints
that
might.
should.
The Saints still might.
The Saints might. I don't know about the Saints. It's like I don't know because he's been playing good, yeah, but like, does anyone in New Orleans really think that Shuck is your future, like QB?
I
Like
mean,
I don't know.
he
It's
played
I don't
pretty
know.
good
I don't
last
think
week.
so. Yeah, he did. He did. For what he has,
He really
he
did.
hasn't been playing too bad.
Um, yeah, I don't know. You still gotta see more and take some stock of what your sort of weaknesses were and are continue to be. But that's a while down the road. We should cross that bridge when we
Yeah,
get there.
yeah.
Um,
We'll talk about the draft after the season when we need more things to talk about.
yeah. So let's just end it with my picks. My pick was Washington. Your pick was remind me
Houston.
was Houston. Okay, cool. Anything else you want to touch on except for
Um,
except for my Johnson?
except for who?
Except for my Johnson.
Who's your
You can
Johnson?
you can touch on my Johnson.
What the fuck does that mean?
Take a wild guess, Tony. My Johnson.
Yeah,
My
what
junk.
Oh, is that what Johnson means?
Yes. Your Johnson is
I'm
your yeah.
I'm not familiar with these young, you know. I
All
don't know.
right, everybody.
But no, I don't think I got anything else to say.
Thank you, Robert
Yeah,
Kraft, for
I've
letting me
said all
interview
my
you.
pieces. Yeah.
All right, y'all. We appreciate you guys watching. We appreciate you dealing with our idiocy. Um, we'll be back next week. Hopefully, I won't be so stuffed up. Hopefully, we'll be back with Evan, and hopefully, Tony will have his mic, and everything will be just fine and dandy. So, we appreciate you guys watching. Tune back in next week. We love you so much, and we'll see you next time. Peace out.